She looked like a Holocaust victim. The story of 3-year-old Angela Costello. Trigger warning. On January 16th of 2016, police officers were dispatched to a home due to a report that a child was unconscious and not breathing. The child was identified as their daughter, 3-year-old Angela Costello. Angela's body was wrapped very tightly in a pink blanket. She was found lying on the floor in a room that was completely empty. The room had no toys, no clothes, no bedding, nothing. It was just a bare, dirty room. One witness said it was like a cold, damp dungeon, a place where people would go to die. Once officers had removed the blanket from around Angela, they noted that she was covered in bruises, lacerations, contusions, and open sores and wounds all over her little body. The little girl was severely malnourished and emaciated. Police officers said she was skeletal. You could see almost every bone in her body through her skin. Angela's mother, Brenda, told police that she found Angela dead around the same time she called 911. Officers quickly noted Angela was cold to the touch. An officer said she was so stiff, she was already in the first stages of rigor mortis. Authorities found a large burn on Angela's chest, with small circular burns on her back, legs, feet, hands, arms, chest, and all over her neck. She was also covered in serious bruises and lacerations. Her stomach was sunken in so deep that all of her ribs were exposed and visible. She was so frail. Her legs and arms were so thin, she had no visible muscle or fat tissue anywhere. Some of the injuries appeared to be recent, while other injuries were in various stages of healing. According to authorities, this was the worst case of child abuse they'd ever seen. So Angela's body was taken in for an autopsy, and the medical examiner found something strange. Angela was covered in a layer of concealer makeup, like foundation. Her mother, Brenda, had put makeup over some of her wounds in an attempt to cover up her injuries. The police took the couple's devices in as evidence, and they were shocked to find a long timeline of child abuse on those devices. There were so many photos and videos on both of their phones of these two torturing this little girl on a daily basis. Videos of Angela curled up on the floor, looking like a skeleton, being forced to eat bare onions. She had blood running from her nose. In another video, taken a year before her death, Brenda is seen putting a spoonful of scrambled eggs in Angela's face and taunting her with it, saying, "Here, you want some?" and then snatching it back, saying, "Ha ha, no food for you, little girl." Other videos show the parents playing on the bed with Angela's older brother and younger sister as she stands in the corner of the room facing away from her family. Bruises and scabbing are visible on the girl's arms, face, and neck. This sweet little girl had been starved, burned, beaten, tortured by the very people who were supposed to love, protect, and provide for her. So Brenda and Miller were arrested. Miller quickly turned on his wife, as they typically do. He blamed everything on Brenda. He said Brenda was the abuser. He had no idea anything like this was going on with his daughter. Even though he's seen his daughter on a regular basis, he had no idea. He said, "Oh, I went to work, I'd come home, and everything seemed fine to me." Nice try. I just can't stress it enough. This happened on a daily basis. Could you imagine? And she's 3. She had to deal with this all day, every day, throughout her short life. Where was the law? Where was CPS? Why didn't the family report something? Now get this. During the trial, Miller started playing the victim. He wanted sympathy from the court. He said that Brenda's family abused him every day. They beat him. They starved him. They locked him up. He was literally pretending like what he had done to Angela is what Brenda's family had done to him. A grown adult who had a car, a phone, a job, at any time could have went and gotten help and chose not to. He wanted the court to feel bad for him. So these two got life in prison.